Hey guys, it's Lucy here with cheerstoblogging.com. So a really hot topic that's been going on in my Facebook group for bloggers is how in the world to create landing pages using MailerLite's. Now I know there's so many features included in the free plan, so it's a little bit easy to get overwhelmed by everything that there is, and it seems like it's really complicated, but I promise you it's not. It's super easy, and we're going to go ahead and get started on showing you that. So we'll go up here to sites and then we'll create a landing page. So now you'll name this landing page whatever you want. No one's going to see it, so go ahead and just name it whatever the name of your freebie is or whatever you want. And now here you're going to see that it's going to show you all of the subscriber groups that you have already included. So if you were blogging, let's say you have a lifestyle blog and you're blogging about parenting and finance, then you might want to have different groups for both of your niches. So one for parenting and one for finance. And then whichever one your landing page is going to be targeting, then you would just select that one, or you can select both. You can always change this later on, so don't worry about it too much in this step. Now you'll see that you have so many different templates that appear, but me personally, I like to just kind of start fresh, start with a clean slate. So I'm just going to select the first one because it's not really going to matter anyways, since I'm just going to go in and delete everything from this template that appears. So you'll see that they have everything really nicely kind of put together. It's really nice and organized, but it's just not really my style. So I'm just going to go in and start deleting every single block from here. And some of these are probably going to make their way back, but I'm still going to start from scratch. Okay, so now that everything's gone, I want you to go ahead and go here to this right side, where you'll see every single content block option that you have to use on your landing page. Now you have all these contents, you have some buttons, your form options, some specialty ones, and then a few extras. So out of all of these, I have probably only used maybe about, I don't know, five different of these options in my landing pages. So don't worry too much about trying to use it all in your landing page. I have so many different landing pages that I've created using MailerLite, and I think I've used maybe about 5 to 6 of these. And I usually start with the heading. So what you'll do is, like I did just there, you'll just click it and drag it over. Now, whenever you want to edit a block, just make sure that you have selected it, so that way this right side can change to open up the settings for that specific block. So your heading, which is the first thing that your readers will see, should be some sort of attracting statement. I like to center it, so I'm going to settings, click here, I'm changing the alignment, and then you see that you can also change the font, you can change the color, you can change the size. You have so many different options of what you can do, and this is the case for every single block included in this version. Now, I am now going to add an image. So I'm dragging that over, and again, make sure you select it so that way the settings function appears. Now, I already have an image in here that I use for my mom blog. So I'm going to select that one, and whoa, that's a little bit too big. So I need to edit that and make sure that I'm resizing it to a little bit more of my liking. So I'm going to go down here where it says image size by percentage, and I'm going to drag it to where I think looks good, which is right there. But I don't like that there's all of this space in between my image and my heading. So I can actually change the spacing, which is really neat, and it's super simple. So you'll see up here that you can change the top spacing and the bottom spacing. So in this case, I want to change the top spacing, but that is still not enough. So I'm going to save that, go to my heading, settings, and this time I'm going to update the bottom spacing, and that looks a lot better. So now you have your heading, you have an image, maybe the next thing you want to add is a little bit of text. So The other way you can add this is by going down here and clicking this little plus button. So instead of dragging it over, you can do this as well. And then all of your options appear in this drop down. So I'm going to hit text and again, select it so you can edit it. You can go over here and edit the size. Again, you can change the color. You can even select a little bit and insert a link. So right here, you're going to see that the spacing is a little bit too close, especially if it's a landing page. So I'm going to go to settings and adjust the spacing a little bit by going to MailerLite's here, the font size. So you'll see it is not really changing the font size, but it is changing the spacing whenever I adjust this font size here. And that's what we want in this case. If you want to adjust the actual text size, then just go ahead and go back here to content, highlight it all, and select your font size there. So we'll save that, and now we have pretty much the top of a landing page, but we're missing the most important part, which is the form. So if you remember earlier, there's 3 different types of forms included here. Now I personally always go with this option, the Signup Form, and it's pretty much the same one I use every single time. So what you'll do is, again, you'll select it. It only gives you an email address when you first select it, so you do need to go into form, add a field, and make sure that the name field appears. However, you do want to go in here and edit the label to say first name. And the reason why you want to do this is because if I'm just a regular reader, I might not realize that you only need my first name. I might think that you need my full name in order for me to get this awesome freebie that you're telling me I should get. But what this really is doing is it's giving you the information that you can then use in your future emails when you're sending them, an update, or you're sending them the freebie. So if I were to put in, my full name, Lucy Reyes, then the email that you want to customize and include my name, you're going to say, hey, Lucy Reyes, how are you? Here's your awesome freebie. And then every single time that you send me an email, you're going to be using my full name, which doesn't make that connection that personable. So you really want to make sure that you go ahead and update this to say first name. That way it is just like, hey, Lucy, how's it going? And it sounds a little bit more informal and much more personable. So I'll go ahead and save those changes there. But I personally am not a boxy type of person. I like my things round. So I'm going to go to settings here. I'm going to scroll down to this button function. And I'm going to, down here where it says corners, I'm going to drag this. And you see as I'm dragging, it's making it round. And I'm also going to make this a little bit bigger. And again, you can go in here and customize the colors of your button. If you go over here to hover, then it'll do that as well. So there, now I have my subscribe form that our readers can go ahead and put in their information, and then they'll get an awesome freebie from me. So you can choose to kind of end it here, or like I said, there's so many options that you can do. You can keep going. Here's an example of one that I use for my mom blog. So you'll see that I have my heading, I have an image, I have my text here, and all of this was created using MailerLite's. So this is a fully MailerLite landing page that I created 100% from scratch. So you see here's that same little feature, that sign up form. I have my freebie here. I have some text, the sign up form. And then you'll see that I also have this privacy policy that I'll show you how to add in just a second. But the reason why I have this here is because of GDPR. You want to make sure that you are staying compliant to GDPR, which pretty much means that you cannot trick a person or a reader into signing up for your mailing list without them knowing that they're doing so. So you can't say, hey, Lucy, grab this awesome freebie, just give me your email address and that's it. And so they kind of go in here thinking, okay, great, here's my email address so you can send me my freebie to my email. But then they have no idea that by giving you their email address, you're actually adding them to their newsletter, to your newsletter. So you want to make it explicitly clear that by signing up to your mailing list, that's how they get access to this awesome freebie that you're giving them. So that's why I choose to have it here. And then I also have it here by joining our awesome newsletter. By clicking below, you acknowledge you will be added to our newsletter. You can subscribe at any time. So this just makes it super clear, like, okay, you have to be an email subscriber to get these awesome freebies, but they can subscribe at any time, and that's super important for them to know as well. So again, I'll show you how to do this in just a second. So I have a little bit more, you keep going. I have some more pictures. I have a little blurb about me, about the blog, some more reasons why they should join. And then I have a final subscribe form here and my social buttons. Yours might look completely different, and it should, because we have different audiences, right? And we're different people. So you customize your landing page however you feel would look the best for your target audiences. So to add that privacy policy, we'll just select here, go to form, and we're going to go down here to form settings. Now you see that you get all these different options down here. We're going to select privacy policy. And if you click on that, you can edit the text here as well. And then if you want to link your privacy policy, again, you can do so with that. So another option that you have here is go into form settings. You can also, instead of giving them the privacy policy, you can have them opt in to receive news and updates. However, I personally don't like this option because if they don't click on that button, you're still required to send them that freebie. So this is pretty much giving them a choice, like, hey, you get the freebie no matter what. But do you want to sign up to my email list anyways? Now, there are a lot of bloggers that do this because it does have some positive benefits. I mean, if your freebie that you're giving them is just so freaking good, then they're going to want more from you, right? So then they're going to eventually sign up to your list. But I personally just don't like it because all my freebies are exclusively for my readers. And so that's why I choose to go the privacy policy route. Now, another cool feature on here is this interest groups. So again, this one works very well when you have a blog about multiple different topics and you really want to target your emails based on what they actually want to hear. So if you had two different niches in your blog, parenting and finance, you could have two different groups, and then down here you'll have a group for parenting and a group for finance. And then you're giving them the option to select which topic they want to hear about. So that's a really good option to have if you blog about more than one topic. Otherwise, it'll just kind of send them to your overall subscriber list if you don't have anything in there. So you can choose to keep going. I really highly recommend that you go through all of these blogs, kind of play around with it, see what the functionality is, what you can do, and how you can edit it. That's really what I did to learn how to create my landing pages. And I promise you that my very first ones were not my best ones. I did go back and update it once I got a little bit more familiar with the tool. I think my very first one kind of looked like this, where it was just super, super basic. I think I had moved this one at the very top, and I didn't really even have a kind of headline statement. I just said, hey, subscribe here. And sometimes that still works well if you already have like multiple landing pages. So again, it's really up to you and your target audience. Now, the one thing I did forget when I first created my landing pages was to go up here and edit my success page. which is the exact same thing. You do it the exact same way as you do your landing page. But what this one is whenever they're done filling in their information here, it takes them to your success page. Now, here's an example of what my success page looks like for my mom blog. And so you'll see I just have my logo. I'm letting them know that thank you, whatever you signed up for is on its way to your inbox. Be on the lookout for me. I also always like to include this in there. Please check your spam and promotions folder, because more than likely your email is going to end up in there. It's not going to make it to their actual primary inbox unless they choose to put you in their primary inbox. So I do always let them know that, hey, please check your spam, please check your promotions folder, and then move me over to the other side. That way you can make sure you never miss out. And then I have a little bit more blurb about me, and I have a final button that will take them to my blog. That way, after they subscribe to my list, then they can go ahead and look around my blog, read some blog posts, and get to know me a little bit more just by clicking on this button, or they can just simply choose to connect with me through my social media channels. So again, this one I created it using MailerLite's, and you do that here. Once you're done with that, you'll save and you'll publish your landing page, or you can save it as a draft and kind of go back and edit it as you go. So that's pretty much it. That's how you create landing pages in MailerLite's. Be sure to come back because there's just so much to do. There's so many features included in MailerLite that it would take me hours if I try to lump it all into one video. So do make sure to subscribe below so that way you can be in touch and you can be notified of new videos whenever they come, because there are going to be so many awesome more tutorials, especially on MailerLite, because again, it's been a hot topic in my Facebook group, which is called Newbie and Expert Bloggers Unite. If you're not in it, come join us. Subscribe below, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks, and cheers to blogging. Bye.